What did you say? Not only my sister was surprised, but I was also surprised. When did Ethan sell houses and cars and provide funds for Sophia to fill the financial gap? I couldn't help but start to recall every moment that Sophia and I had. I wonder if people will easily forget things when they are dead. I can no longer remember many things from my lifetime. I can still vaguely remember that I met Sophia when I just graduated from college and went to work at her family company. Sophia had just joined the company at that time. In order to train her, her parents asked her to start at the grassroots level. I thought she was just like us. Just normal employees. As a new employee, she was so calm and unlike the rest of us, had outstanding abilities, and was also bright and beautiful. We were assigned to the same group and we did a lot of work together. As time went by, I started to fall in love with her. But what made me feel that I really fell in love with her was when she dropped me off after we finished working overtime that day. As soon as I got out of the car, I was stopped by my alcoholic uncle and some of his drunken friends, who asked me to give him money or they would beat me to death. My parents died young, in an accident while working in the factory. Before they died, my uncle was taken care of by my mother because of his young age and my grandparents died early. After my mother died, my uncle was helpless and looked for my sister and me when he had no money. We used to give him some money, but later he asked for more and more. There was no way my sister and I could afford it, so we just ignored him. He stalked us so hard, and in order to get rid of him, my sister and I were forced to move to somewhere else, but he found us anyway. That night, Sophia asked her father to call a dozen bodyguards for her and rescued me from my uncle and his drunken friends. If you dare to touch James again, I'll beat you guys to death. It's none of your business, my uncle said viciously. James's matter is my matter, and I will take care of it to the end, Sophia said firmly. And she actually did it. After that, she sent me home every day, accompanied by 2 or 3 tall and strong bodyguards, who would beat my uncle whenever she saw him. Over time, my uncle really didn't dare to come to bother my sister and me anymore. At that time, Sophia really seemed like an angel descending to earth. There was a sudden pain in my heart. It turns out that dead people can still feel the pain. It's just, I don't care anymore. After that, I thought about confessing my love to her, but I realized that Sophia is the daughter of the company's owner and there is a huge gap between me and her. The inferiority complex caused by that made me bury this feeling in my heart. Later, the company's investment failed due to the leadership's decision-making and had to face bankruptcy. Many people had left the company, but I chose to stay with Sophia, and I was so glad that this was the closest distance I could get to Sophia. I accompanied Sophia to so many social events and I have been drinking a lot for her, ending up in the hospital because of stomach bleeding so many times. I worked overtime with her every day, even stayed up at the company all night. During her most difficult 2 years, I was 178 centimeters tall and weighed no more than 120 pounds. In her darkest moment, I transferred all the $1.5 million compensations left over from my parents' accidental death into her account, including my sister's share. My sister didn't agree at first, but later she couldn't resist my unwavering love for Sophia, so she gave me the money. Of course, I returned the double amount to my sister later. To avoid being taxed by the government, I transferred the money into her account anonymously. After Sophia received the money, she finally brought the company back on track. She hugged me and cheered. We celebrated together that night. Under the influence of alcohol, both of us couldn't help ourselves, and naturally we got together. I always thought she knew I was the one who gave her the money. She fell in love with me and married me. I thought this was because she knew all my efforts and was touched by it. So, I never deliberately mentioned about that $1.5 million. But now, Sophia suddenly said that the money she urgently needed was given by Ethan. You said that Ethan sold cars and houses to fill the financial gap for you? My sister confirmed again. Yes, so why shouldn't I be nice to him? He even turned against his family in order to help me. Sophia said angrily, "Shouldn't I repay such a favor? It's James who never understand about me and being petty all the time." "Ha!" My sister laughed. She smiles like an idiot. She said, "Is this what Ethan told you, that he even offended everyone because of you?" Sophia could also see my sister's sarcasm. "You don't need to be like this. James is not the only good person in this world. Why do you have to look down on others so much?" "I look down on Ethan. Yes, I look down on men like him. But I look down on you even more in this moment." My sister said fiercely, "Let's not talk about other things. What Ethan has done for you. Did you ever tell James? Does James ever know that? You are just returning a favor to Ethan only?" Sophia suddenly became speechless. She literally never told me. I didn't know either. If I had made it clear earlier, I would have known that she mistakenly thought that the $1.5 million was given by Ethan. Or maybe none of this is important. Sophia just wanted to find a reasonable excuse for herself to be nice to Ethan. Without that $1.5 million, there could be other excuses. Does James know about everything and what you were thinking? All he sees is that his wife is wholeheartedly treating good to other man. My sister roared. He was jealous and his wife was still blaming him for being unreasonable. I told him that there is nothing between us. Sophia retorted weakly. There are so many people cheating in this world, and everyone said that they didn't. And see what happened as a result. My sister asked Sophia, and collapsed again and said, "But James still believed in you and had always believed in you. If he trusts me, he won't quarrel with me like this. Why didn't he divorce with you if he had never believed in you? Why did he work so hard just to stay with you? Even in order to prevent others from thinking that he was taking advantage of you, he chose to leave the company after the company went back on track and worked so hard just to start a new business." Sophia looked at my sister, probably stunned by her anger. "Do you know how much James's body was damaged just to start a new business? Do you think you are the only one who has stomach problems? James also had it. It's even 100 times worse than you. While you had stomach pain, his stomach probably bleeding like hell. The doctor said that his chance of getting gastric cancer is 10 times more than normal people." Sophia pursed her lips tightly and remained silent. "Yes, I really went through a lot of trouble trying to get her to drink less. After that, in order to take care of her health, I completely ignored mine, causing my health getting worse and worse. Forget about it. No matter how much I say to people like you, it's not going to help." My sister suddenly didn't want to say anything anymore. She was afraid that if she continued talking, she would not be able to bear it. "Now that James is gone, you and your lover Ethan should be together. Give me a chance." Sophia pulled my sister sharply, her eyes sincere. "I want to talk to James again." My sister hesitated. I could tell that she didn't want to talk to Sophia anymore. Finally, she agreed, "Wait here for a while." "All right." My sister turned back to the room and changed her clothes for going out. "Isn't James inside?" Sophia asked my sister. My sister didn't answer her and walked straight into the elevator. Sophia still followed and got in my sister's car. My sister parked the car on the suburbs. Sophia got out of the car angrily and asked my sister, "Why did you bring me here? Even if I did not do enough for James, you shouldn't tease me like this." My sister didn't even want to reply her. She turned and walked directly into a path. I know this is where my sister buried me, and my parents are here too. I saw Sophia angrily following my sister. I thought, given her personality, she would turn around and walk away. My sister's footsteps stopped in front of a grave. Fortunately, back in the days. Sophia took time out of her busy schedule to accompany me to pay homage to my parents, so she should remember this place. "Why did you bring me to your parents' graveyard?" Sophia didn't finish her words. "Because she saw my tombstone and my name is written on it. There is also a black and white photo of me when I was alive." Her whole body seemed to have suddenly turned to stone, looking at my tombstone steadily. As if she didn't believe what she was seeing, she was confirming over and over again whether it was my name on the tombstone. Is James really dead? I saw her eyes suddenly turned red. She was caught off guard and turned red in a frightening way. I don't feel anything in this moment. My sister also. Crocodile tears are never worthy of sympathy. I don't believe it. Sophia suddenly said with certainty, did James deliberately play tricks on me? Did you deliberately use this method to retaliate against me? How could such a good person just die so easily? Who would curse himself like this? Sophia, don't you know what kind of person James is? He has been afraid of causing trouble to others since he was a child. Could he be able playing tricks like this? Besides, he can't take revenge on you since he is dead, right? But why did he die? Sophia still didn't believe it. Why? My sister sneered, probably thinking of the tragic moment when I died, and tears flowed out uncontrollably. Didn't you go to celebrate Ethan's birthday half a year ago? James had a car accident when he went out that day. No, it won't. Sophia shook her head. Emotions are breaking down, falling apart little by little. I didn't receive any news. I didn't receive any news that he had a car accident. Sophia said loudly. Because you didn't answer his call. My sister was also angry. Finally, he called me and said he was going to die, and he told me not to be sad and not to bother you. My sister covered her face and burst into tears at the painful memories. Sophia's whole body became frozen. She looked at my grave and then my sister. I saw her body tremble. Trembling like crazy. Is it Bekassu, the fear of the death? Or, she feels a little bit sad because of my death? James was still thinking about you until his very last moment, and was afraid of causing any bad impact at your life. But you? What were you doing? You were singing happy birthday to Ethan. My sister said while crying. She is not worthy for me, really. Actually, I'm not that great. Maybe before, I did sacrifice a lot for Sophia without any regrets. But the last call I made to my sister was not because I was afraid of causing any bad impact on Sophia, but because I really didn't want to have anything to do with her anymore. Bang! I saw Sophia kneeling straight in front of my tombstone and made a loud noise. My sister raised her head and glanced at Sophia, looking at her grief-stricken look, but there was only sarcasm in her eyes. Who are you showing this to? James is dead, and he won't see it anymore. I can see it. Just no feeling at all. I still find Sophia's current appearance very annoying. I always feel that I cannot reincarnate because she is in my way. Suddenly, Sophia kowtowed crazily to my grave. There were violent sounds, and her head was bleeding a lot. My sister looked at her actions coldly. I was also a little unhappy. If she wants to die, she can die far away and don't disturb me. My sister never tried to pull her away. And I can't do anything with my soul. I do not know how long it has been. Sophia suddenly stopped. The moment she stopped, her body shrank into a ball, and then I heard a suppressed cry. Now you know your head hurts? Ha, you deserve it. Sophia, I'm supposed to follow James's will and never bother you again. But since you regret so much right now, I will tell you the truth. My sister took out my phone. This is James's phone. The memo records every bit of the relationship between you two, as well as what your favorite childhood sweetheart has done to James. Sophia turned to look at my sister dully. Her eyes were blood red. This is something I've never seen before. My body twisted and fluttered in front of my sister, trying to stop her. I don't want to give Sophia my phone. I don't care if she feels guilty enough, or she regrets enough. To me, this person is as good as dead. Oh, no, I am the one who is dead. But everything she does right now doesn't matter anymore. I saw Sophia's trembling hands, took the phone over, and then held it tightly in her hand, so hard that her nails dug into her skin. The password is your birthday, my sister said. Sophia was startled. The next moment, the shaking became even worse. The redness under her eyes became more and more obvious. My sister got up and left. At this moment, she has done everything she could for Sophia. And my sister was able to do this probably because she knew very well how much I loved Sophia. And she doesn't want my love to be disappeared like that. The wind is very strong in the desolate mountains. My whole soul was blown to pieces and I was trembling. Sophia knelt in front of my grave for a long time. After a long time, she finally picked up my mobile phone. She pressed the password, her birthday.